So the captain asks, well, I was paid to keep you alive, and I think part of that is train you of what you might have to run into. I need a fish. I need a quite big tuna, in fact. Any of you guys have any experience in sea fishing or anything with that?
I'm sure we can figure something out.
The only fishing I've ever done is trying to catch him with my mouth or with a small dagger.
One time my maid did take me to the fish market, so I know what we're looking for.
All right. I need to analyze your skill sets.
I have an idea if you wish to join me on this, guys.
Oh, okay. I was going to give one, but I would love some improvisation. Go ahead.
Well, you say we need a big fish, yes?
Yes, tuna, something medium. My only recommendation is you should attract the fish to get it to come, if you could have a way of doing that.
Of course. We have plenty we can do. I hear fish are attracted to light, no?
He nods, but go ahead.
Oh, yes, I heard that.
A good idea I have is being that I have my beautiful clothes here. I could take a dip down, you could keep watch, and I could make sure to swim around a bit, get some attraction pulled to me, draw the fish closer, and then the three of you, using whatever you have, I can make sure the fish is easily seen. You can catch it, tie it up with rope, and haul it on deck.
Well, that seems like a darling plan. I've been looking at this hat while you guys have been swimming, and rather than you jumping in, I might be able to just create some lights in there, if that's okay with you.
And the captain laughs. Smart. I think she's going to be a smart one.
That is fair.
Mr. Sailor, how fast can you swim, per se?
I say pretty fast.
Pretty fast. Now, you've seen we have left shore. Do you really think you could keep up with the boat?
If I put my mind to it, yes. Depending. How fast is the ship?
Question. Just sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
Could I make a perception check to see if I can see any fish in the water by chance?
Yes, this is part of all that. So yeah, while you make a perception quest, and he says, well, the captains will say like, well, I had an idea to help you guide you through this, but I will leave this up to you. I will just teach you once you've caught the fish. Whichever method you go about this, go ahead.
13?
13? You see plenty of fishes. The island you were near, the water was clear, crystal clear. You see little tiny fishes, you see big fishes, you see dolphin in the distance, jumping and catching fishes. The thing about this world is near the islands, the waters are so crystal clear and beautiful. It's once you start getting farther and farther away from land. Some of you guys have been there, the ones that have been sailors, the ocean gets dark, deep, black as night, hard to see. But right now, there's still some joy to be getting. So you see plenty of fishes.
And
all right.
Out of character, Beaky, just so you know, I have, if I use both my movement and action, I have 120 feet of swim speed.
Out of character, I definitely do know that, and you're still not catching the boat.
Yeah, but he's trying to put on there.
Yeah, yes.
It's like the David Hasselhoff in the SpongeBob movie. He's just zooming by.
Yes!
Ken, I'm not sure if you heard earlier, I did say the ship pushed off and started sailing, so.
Okay, no.
Yeah, you're not catching the boat at even 120 feet around.
So, for our fish situation, I'm going to cast Speak with Animals.
Okay, so that's how you're helping. What's everybody else doing?
And I'm literally just going to scream at the top of my lungs, fishy, fishy, fishy!
He starts laughing. Make a persuasion check with disadvantage for being on the boat and trying to make this fish hear you.
All right.
I want everybody to contribute something. These are the skill challenges. This is how it's going to work. Everybody has to contribute something to help in this process.
What I am going to do to make it a little bit easier so we don't lose them.
And the DC goes down as everybody helps out.
It's 14.
I'll note that.
If he gets any group of fish to come forth, I will mark them by casting fairy fire on the group to light them all up. That's
significantly helped out. A group of fishes, but only like 2 quite big tunas came in, nibbling at some smaller fishes. It seems like it's only gonna last for because fairy fire only lasts a minute, right?
Yeah, concentration for a minute. But
so like it seems like this spell's gonna go away. What are you doing, Cousin and Madeline? You see him concentrating on this magical spell. What are you guys doing to help out with this?
I'm going to shoot 2 of my daggers at providing I retrieve the dagger from the captain.
It was on the dock. You could have picked it up easily.
Yeah, she's going to throw her 2 daggers at the fish, and she's going to quickly, once knows that it's hit, she's going to quickly leap onto the water again to try to grab them.
Okay, Madeline, what do you want to do during this?
After I see where Chasm has thrown her daggers, I'm going to use my web spell to pull them up. At least try to. I'm not sure how big they are, but at least I can lift them out the water.
So you
and
guys
then I'll hold on to it to get back up, so I'm not forgotten by the ship.
Can someone help me? I can't hold this.
So first we're going to do this in order. So what happens first? Jagger, fishy, fishy, fishy. And just, a few smaller fishes and 2 big fishes swirl
Hey,
up,
buddy. No,
looking up at you.
Sup, homie?
Yeah. The fuck you want, man?
Does it speak with animals, you said?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so you hear food, food, food. They're looking up like they've seen it before. Make a animal handling check. Let's see if we can make it.
All right. That's a 19.
Yeah, you've seen bread being thrown into the ocean or thrown to animals, being a hunter before. Just as a little, you have experience with this. You know they're up there just waiting to the mouth of the jaw, waiting for somebody to throw food. And as they're looking up, Alexander's already prepared his thing right there. Chasm through fairy fire to throw 2 daggers for me with advantage. The fairy fire.
Okay.
I'm just picturing like 2 giant mouth fish just going, feed me.
16 for the first one.
Bread.
Feed me, Seymour.
19 for the second.
Feed me.
All right, Madeline, you see Chasm jump up top of stand.
No,
Okay.
I just stand over the boat, and I just, as I'm holding the fan, it's like the fan closes each time, and then dagger slips out of my hand. Fan opens, fan closes again, another dagger slips out, and it hits both for both fish.
Well, you only got to attack one right now.
Oh yeah, one.
The head of one of the big tunas sliced off. The tail sliced off. It was like this fish was prepared to cook. You see that, and then you cast your spell of web. What's your DC to save on this? They're probably gonna fail, but
13.
Yeah, if they pass this, I'll be so surprised.
I mean, they're also a corpse, so.
What? No, but there's a bunch of fish.
Oh, that's true.
Zombie
This
fish.
is a very good idea with the web. Natural 1 and a 6. Rolling for the one for the big massive fish, the little fishes, and 1 for the other live fishes. So you're right down there, ready to grab the. Wait, Chasm, do you jump down to try to grab the fish after you saw that you hit?
Yeah.
So as you jump down, Madeline throws out webs. All of the fishes in this webby ball. You look up and you see her. And what are you doing after you see that your thing worked, Madeline?
Help! This is too heavy!
I'll more than happily grab on and help.
All right, so using Kazan's water walk and Alexander, you guys go down, take this big thing of fishes, like you guys haul it up. Jagger, being a hunter, reaches down like, like I'm pretty sure your reaction would be like, this is a hell of a catch, right?
Oh, would you look at this lovely one, huh?
The captain,
Pretty good.
pretty good dinner.
Yes.
Dinner for quite a while, in fact. You guys will eat good. My chef is out of this world. All right. Well,
A little suspicious there.
I'm quite. Make an insight check.
I am.
All right. Everybody who wants to make an insight check, make an insight check.
That's cock.
Ooh,
That rolled
that's
on my freaking keyboard.
That's nothing.
16.
6.
11.
12.
All right. So only Kazan gets a hint when he says out of this world. Unfortunately, it's not critical role like a whisper thing, so
Yeah.
it's funner. But
You could whisper. You could use the chat. That's what I've done.
I would have, but I was just like, forget it. It's still. I just want to. It'll be easy. You guys just role play that you don't know this information. When he says out of this world, it sticks out. He's genuine in how he says that. He's being funny about it, but he's genuine when he says his Cook is out of this world. He's very much being genuine about that.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what you know. So he's like, well,
I forgot I didn't mute myself.
that was impressive and disgusting at the same time. He looks over to Madeline.
Why? I mean, I'm sorry. I don't
No,
mean to discuss
no,
it.
it was very well done, but we will need to clean this ickiness off of the fish to have them be editable. But this actually works out quite well. This is a situation that might help you in surviving.
I can handle that. Prestidigitation on the fish.
But no.
I mean,
Please do not. This is something more careful. This is actually a skill you need to learn, not just use magic for. Not everything is easily done because the magic might clean away the filth of the web. But sometimes you need to cut through and find something more delicate. The web actually adds to the challenge. The webs are not a problem, but it will make it a little harder for you. I need fish lungs, the lungs of the tuna. You understand? Well, not lungs. I'm saying the liver, lungs.
I was about to say, my friend.
Yeah, no, they have livers, but they don't have lungs. I don't know why I said lungs. And
I mean, they got gills.
to do this mass stuff, I'm sure as a hunter, Jaga, you have skinned many animals for hides, I'm sure, right?
Oh,
Sure.
plenty.
Plenty, sure. But I'm sure the process has never been such refined because in these days and age, and here we live, you use what you get, and you'll be happy to get any hide these days for the animals left of this world. So with that being said, you've never had to be careful, I'm sure, when you're doing this. Well, how if I say I need the livers, but I need the livers intact or cleaned good? You need to be able to use your survivals, your skills to peel the flesh away, peel the bones away, and leave no damage to anything but the entire intended target. And we'll say this web around the fish is think about it as an acid. Imagine some monsters and creatures out there might have acidy blood or other disgusting organs that you might not want to pop because of the leftover bile in their body. So I will leave it to you to figure out who could be most skilled with a knife or maybe some other magical means to get in there to remove the body parts. But I need this to be perfect when it comes to these livers.
What is it?
I mean, I have an idea if you need a better angle at cutting it.
Unfortunately, I've never actually worked in the kitchen, so I wouldn't be much use in this situation.
Don't fret. I mean, assistance is what it's all about. I don't know what you guys will do once you, or if you get where you get, but I will recommend working together is probably the best way of accomplish. I'm sure one of your skills will offset the others. It doesn't have to be everybody. I mean, moral support is always helpful, or you can even just lend a hand. Let the hand hold a tool. There's plenty of ways you can help.
Are you good at it, Captain?
Me?
Yes. Do you know how to do this?
Can I be honest with you?
Yes, please.
The webs disgust me. That was utter disgusting. The webs, I do not like spiders.
But if the web wasn't there, would you be able to do this?
Yes, I think I could.
Can I cast suggestion on him?
Oh, hell yes, you can.
Okay, I'm going to cast suggestion. Wisdom save of 13.
And as she's doing that, I've already sat down, weirdly enough, pulled out my small dagger and have gently been plucking it against my lyre to ritual cast Unseen Servant.
I was actually going to ask, since I have the Wanderer feature and it says something about being able to always find food, provided that, the land offers berries, small game, water, and so forth, would I be able to use that and, a mix of the survival skill to try and actually, skin and scale, descale the fish to get to the liver?
That's the whole point of this. I knew about your skills, so that's the whole point of this stuff we're doing right now. This is just an introduction. Obviously, we're gonna get into combat and stuff, but I want to get some mechanics down. It is for you to use stuff from your background, use skills that we normally don't use in D&D. I want to use everything, not just roll for attack.
Yeah, no, of course.
So yes, but I will say because of what you've said earlier, you're not very sea-fearing, so you're going to still need help on scaling down the fish, and it has an angle of, where do I go from the left? Should I go against the scales? Should I go towards the scales? Because anybody who's ever really scaled fish which I have, there's a proper way to do that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But we will go back to let's do the what spell was it?
Suggestion.
How long does that last again? It's 1 minute or 1 round?
Hold on one second.
Yeah, just
Can I speak to the dead fish on how to properly scale him?
It's concentration
By
that
the
lasts
way.
up to 8 hours.
Ooh.
He saves.
Oh,
And does this creature know that suggestion was cast? Is it one of those spells? Well, I'll say either ways, unless it doesn't say that, you weren't trying to be sneaky about it. So he'll just look at you and just give you a big smile.
oh, yeah.
That's a very, very good way of doing it. And I saw what you did, and you know what? I'll teach you a little something.
Okay.
You're trying to make me do something. You're trying to persuade me, per se, right? How do you persuade a creature that does not want to be persuaded? How do you create something that might not understand your language? Be very careful when you're in the heat of battle or doing certain things with certain creatures, because some creatures won't care whatever you say. They may not even understand your meaning. But of course, there are spells that do not care about whether they understand you or not. That's the trick.
I understand, and
see,
I apologize.
Oh,
When it
nothing
comes to
about
things
it.
like that, you gotta go straight for the intimidation factor.
Oh, intimidation is great. You come up to a bull? Well, I guess you guys wouldn't even know what a bull is. Jeez, what a world we must live in. Cows, bulls, steak, whatever. Either ways. You come into a beast, jaws, maw, stare it down. Do you run away, or do you try to stare and get it to back down, giving your friends an advantage to attack it from the rear? These are always tactics. But let's get into this right now. Alexander, I see you there on the floor. What are you trying to attempt?
Yes, don't worry. I'm making sure we have extra hands to help us. And if the minute or so goes by, how long is it?
I think it's 11
Yeah,
minutes.
I just need the 1 minute or
Oh.
the 10 minutes to actually cast it. But I just play a few ditties, and then
While that happens, just because it's 10 minutes, what would you have been doing, Kazin, during this time?
She would have been going around the deck, just pretending she's admiring the water and listening into what all these other people are saying to figure out what is going on,
Okay,
seeing all these different groups mixed together.
Give me a perception check, and I'll get back to you. So right now, we'll say the skill challenge is up to Alexander and Jagar, because the other two have tried things, and Kazin has moved on for investigation. So you want to use your survival with your background to try to assist them, right? For James.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And
So
I was gonna.
how are you? Yeah. How's your helper helping?
So I was gonna say the unseen servant, once it's summoned,
Hmm?
because that takes an action. I take the 10 minutes for the ritual cast. Once it comes up, he'll grab the fish to give better angles and actually hold it in three. Basically give it so that he can actually act as if it's a table holding the
All
actual
right.
fish.
All right. So that will
And
get okay.
in the same breath, because it's a bonus action, I'll give him a bardic inspiration.
All right. So go ahead with advantage, James, and roll.
It's a D6.
Okay. So you have a D6 of inspiration, and roll for a survival check with advantage. How this unseen service has held up the fish, and its ghostly form literally just moves the web to the side, giving you a clear access to the big tuna that's already been sliced, its head sliced off, and its shell sliced off because of Kazin. So the DC is quite low. But what did you get?
I hope it's pretty low, because apparently, even with advantage, I got 2 of the same number.
And the D6?
I didn't do the D6 yet.
It-
Oh, okay, that makes it a little better. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's a 13.
The DC was 12. So you made
You
it.
are fucking welcome.
Thank
Bardic
you.
See, my
inspiration.
friend, it's just a little bit of encouragement, and you understand exactly what you need to do.
So the captain looks over to Kazin, walking around, snooping around, and just gives a small little glance, but looks at you two down at the floor working, and oh no, don't do that! Oh, lucky save! You swiftly take the blade and remove the scales. The head is already limping off. You swiftly slide it apart. You go down the belly. Egg starts spilling out. Oh, you cut a little too deep into an egg
Well,
sac.
that's a female.
Yeah.
Oof.
Ugh.
Not supposed to be
If you-
doing that.
ugh.
Might ruin the wildlife.
And the
well,
captain laughed. Have you ever had caviar?
that is actually what I was going to say.
Not a big fan of the fish. Normally,
something
Mom
to-
brought back raw meat.
something to eat.
There's worlds where, well, it's very valuable. I'll give you that one. Well, anyways, yes. I see you cut back clearly, nicely. The bones, oh, very good, very good. He voids the webs with the unseen server and picks up the huge fish, lifts it up, and sees you just leaving the liver just there. Very, very good, very good. This is skill, and this will be probably one of your most important skills. It may not seem it. You may be killing the monsters, maybe what gives you the joy and excitement, but this might give you the items, the things you need to survive in this and many other worlds. Don't sleep on being able to use the most of the creatures you slay.
Well, you always got to remember in hunting, it's not just a game about trophies. It's about using what you can to survive.
Yes, it is. By this time, you guys are starting to notice. You guys are moved pretty far out. This ship is fucking fast, and when you guys came up onto the ship, you've guys seen ship before. There's plenty. Like,
It's like the rich person speedboat going.
No. Actually, from the outside, the ship looks like your general sailboat. Ship. It looks like a wood ship, but once you come inside, you see a lot of wooden elements, sleek lines. The sail looks like it's just made out of cloth, but as you guys look up, just passively, it's actually fine silk. It's materials that some of you guys have not seen since other continents existed. It's like, wow, this guy got himself some good shit. This is like, right now, Alexander, you're fucking impressed. This is the nicest fucking ship build you've ever seen.
This reminds me of my old girl. The ship I first started on.
Oh, really?
Find the vessel.
I bet. Yes, I think it was your captain. I'm not exactly sure who sent you on this little pursuit, if I'm correct. Is it not?
Oh, no, he's an inspiration, but not the one who sent me.
Okay.
He helped me get my love of adventure and made me want to really be out there helping people.
Yeah,
Make a difference, in this world
Yes.
that's so crazy.
Yes, I wasn't exactly sure for you, but yeah, I could tell automatically that you were definitely a sailor as well. But good job. You'll use this skill later in life. The clouds get dark. Night does not come, but we're getting close. We're getting very close. Well, let's go take it for the nah. You know what? Let's not. Let's just eat. Let's cook these fish, have a meal, and I will give you the last item that was requested of me to give you, and we need to talk because this is very, very unusual. If you don't mind, spend some time among yourself, talk if you will. I will bring this to the chef, and he will make us a fine meal for the captain's quarters.
Kazan got a 10 for perception.
Perception. I was gonna get right back to that. So,
Okay.
Captain basically looks at you, Alexander, and kind of looks at you for you to have your unseen servant wipe the rest of the webs off. He's
I flick my hand and use prestidigitation to do it as well.
like, okay, yeah. He comes with a sack, scoops the fishes up, and goes down into the bottom of the ship, not to be seen.
Could I follow him?
Are you trying to be stealthy, or are you trying to be
I'm open.
Okay,
I'm
I'll get
trying.
back to that. So you guys can have a little bit of downtime while dinner's being making. Kazan, you've taken some time and to look around, overhear some conversation. No one's here trying to be deceiving or trying to hide that they're all trying to, talking under their breath, really. This is weird for everybody. So you overhear some people like, I can't even believe I made it. I was only given a few coins and a promise. So if I could get to the ship, I would have safe passage across the ocean. This is one of the last vessels that they say could actually make the voyage. The other companies don't even want to go down south anymore. They're saying about a rift in the ocean. You overhear another not a rift. It's not a rift. It's cavern, something. The waters are dangerous. Just gotta make it to the other side, and then we'll get to the other place that's better. I really don't understand it, but I was sent here, and I think I could do it, and I seen it. And then you over here, give me one last perception check. As you see two people who look more put together, who are wearing nicer armor, great swords. One has a nice katana, and they're talking more strategy. You hear like, okay, once we get on the boat, we go for the clear path, open seas, hit there. We'll see the doorway. We go into the doorway. We can't get tricked by any type of illusions. We just got clear and narrow. But let me see what other details you find.
12.
Damn, I didn't know my
12?
my freaking samurai monk was in here.
So you hear
I
that they're
have a
making
mission.
strategy about how to cross the sea, but you can't. They start talking about each other, but you really can't overhear where they're from and what they're about. But that's all you get right now.
Okay.
And Madeline, you follow the captain down the steps, and you see him not being stealthy, so he kind of realizes that he's being followed. But he first walks down one row of steps, goes down another row of steps. There's spirals. The first lodging under the ship. How about this? I will show you the ship. Yep, it sounds like the time. I will show you the ship. You're having so much fun role playing. I kind of forgot I could. 1 second. Share screen. So this is for you, Madeline, being underneath the ship right now.
Ooh.
Yes. So right now, on the lower bottom area of the ship, where you see the food stacked up in the middle.
Yes.
It's not there in this map, obviously, but you see where that little jail cell type thing is? Just imagine there's a kitchen in there where the chef would come and pick stuff up. So you follow the captain across the first deck where the cannons are all lined up right there. They're all nice and set up. And then after you pass that one, you go lower to this area, and you don't initially see another area downstairs, but it seems like there's not enough beds here for everybody, which you think is just kind of finds you odd, but it's what it is. So what do you do? Do you follow him over to the chef?
Yes. I'd like to go over to the chef.
Well, he sees you like, oh, oops, let me make the video replay. Loop. Okay. Well, where are you heading? This is the captain. Like.
Yes. Oh, well, I thought I would help out with dinner. It'd be a good learning experience. And I'd like to meet the chef.
Oh, you like to meet the chef? Oh, well, he looks pretty big, but don't let that fool you. He's kind of a gentle soul. I call him Pat. Well, everybody calls him Patchy. And as you start going, you see a big old turtle-like humanoid back turn. And is that the captain I hear coming? Have great hearing. And you have a guest, don't you?
Hi, Patchy.
Hey, Missy, how can I help you? I heard we were saying you want to learn about cooking. Captain, is this okay? Why do I even need your opinion? Now, go get lost, Captain. I'll handle her. Just leave the fish. How can I help you, Missy?
Oh, well, I'd like to share some of my skill sets. Is there any flames, like a candle or the stove or anything nearby?
So how he has it set up is that there is a stone stove that's quite well made. Like, it doesn't look like it makes sense from a carpenter or any type of building you see. Like, but being a one of magic, this clearly was made by magic. There's no way if the stone stove could be on the ship in the way it's made and the flames do not lick over and hit against the building. So the stove is not lit yet, but he was on the counter lighting up. He's like, I gotta light that up. Can you help with that?
Absolutely.
So how do you do to help?
So I will go into my bag.
Mm-hmm.
I will get some general tinder. I'll start the fire just enough to get a spark, and then I'll use control flames to basically make it a roaring fire within a second.
Whoa,
How's
okay.
this?
Well, actually, have you heard of flame broiling? It's an interesting technique. Well, I wasn't expecting to do this, but it makes some very, very crispy and nice food. If you could keep that up for a moment, actually, we might be able to cook this meal up quite quick. Can you keep it up?
Absolutely. This is nothing. Look, and I'll make the fire go down, up, down, up, down, up in a little.
Whoa! No! We need constant heat for this. This is the delicacy to the cooking.
Sorry, I just wanted to.
No problem. But well, if you can you do that again? In fact, just stop that for a moment. Let me show you how to season the food and get it prepared. And he goes up to a counter and he just waves his hands, and the cabinet opens up. He waves his hands again, and salt, peppers, spices you've never seen, all just levitate onto the thing. And he tells you, get the pan over there. He points over there, and there's some pans, and get the biggest cast one, like the heavy metal. Grab that one.
Sure, I will try. And Madeline will walk over, and she has 8 strength. So depending on how.
It's just a 30-pound cast iron iron. Yeah, it's just a big.
So it falls through the floor.
She's struggling with it. She's not very strong.
It's heavy.
It breaks her spine. She dies instantly.
Bye, guys.
Like May-chan would lift this up, but you 8 strength, you can pick this up. So you bring it over, like you drop it on the table. Heavy, right? Heavy.
Oh, so heavy.
He takes the spices and everything and just starts massaging it in. He takes his hands off of it, and then he just goes, and you see water, crystal clear water, come out of his mouth. His hands are moving in an interesting way. It almost looks like he's casting a spell as the water releases from his mouth, and he wrenches his hands off.
Can I tell?
Right. Yeah. You could tell it's a spell. Like it's not a spell you know.
No.
But it's definitely a water-based spell.
That is quite impressive.
Oh yes, if you've been where I've been, you might pick up a little something about the ways of water. Make a perception check.
16.
As he's talking and you're looking at him and you saw him focus and blow this out, you notice around his neck there's a chain, just like a metal chain, hooked through something, and it's placed inside his shell. It's kind of weird. It's not really revealing what it is, but he's clearly wearing something metal and something's hooked through it. It just catches your eye, but you're not really exactly sure what it is. It was just a 16 or make out anything more than it's a metal chain around his neck. And he goes back, well, it's going to be your turn next. All the seasons are here. You saw me. Hope you were paying attention now.
Of course.
You have 2 fishes. So first of all, we need you to chop off the head and tail of the other fish. We're going to use the head and tail for a fish head stew. Go ahead and give me an acrobatics check on slicing it clearly.
I've never done this before. She'll pick up the knife very carefully. She got an 8.
Big fucking cleaver.
She got an 8, and she has 8 to try.
Yeah.
She cut off her hand.
You pick up the cleaver, and you go to slap the head. The head slides and falls on the ground. Oh, that was a little too hard. You go for the tail, and you're holding it with your hand, and he sees it going right down. Like, your hand just freezes in place. And make an Arcana check for me.
14.
That's not enough. Close. But you do think to yourself, this is all you can think is like, did magic, wait, well, most spells you have to try to resist it. How did he do that? And then, oh, be careful there. We don't want you cutting off your hands. I'll just cut it off. He cuts off the rest. Well, next up, let's massage it in. Give me a dex check to massage the spices all into the fish into the right places.
I don't really cook very much at my place.
Well, you wanted to learn, right? Well,
no, you're right. 11.
Well, actually, that's quite decent. I mean, for a first timer, got the spices right underneath the ribs. Yeah, hey, I seasoned everything. You just had to put them in right places. Like, I think with your technique, the spices staying on, we'll cook up a quite great boro. So you go ahead and I'm gonna come back to you in a second.
No
You go
worries.
ahead and cast what is it? Control flame? You said.
Control flame.
Control flame. It goes into a broil, and he puts the fish on some stick, and all the fishes he does it. And you guys spend some time talking, and I'll get back to you. And you guys flame broil all the fishes. James and Chris, are you guys doing anything else before we get back to what's gonna happen at dinner?
I see that a lot of the people sitting here with a bit of a sad pus on their face. So I go ahead and take some time, and I will be there to put on a little bit of a performance, juggling my swords and blades, dancing around, singing a little bit, just to lift the spirits.
All right, so give me a performance check to see how many people come by. And we're on the ship. You should be able to see right now as it's starting to get dark outside. People are still above board. The rain is not that hard, but many of these people have never been this far in the ocean. And even though it might be raining and thunder, they want to see the sea because they've never been this far from land ever.
Well, to make it easier, I'll first cast light on like one of the crates just to have that illuminate to give
Okay.
people a way to see.
I'll say you do it
right
at the
near
crate. Yeah, there's a few. You in the front or the back of the ship will be the best place to get everybody's attention.
Yeah, I'd say near the front of the ship. I'll light it up.
All right, so right by the front of the ship, I'll say there's a crate. There's a crate right up front there. You cast light behind you, so it's kind of black glowing against you. It actually makes you kind of look like a bigger and more impressive figure than you really normally are. And as for doing that, I'll give you advantage on the performance check.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to help you
Oops,
through
sorry.
these trying times in uncertain waters with a bit of a show. That was needed. Holy shit. Ooh. So that one roll was a 2. The other,
Really?
21.
Too good for a board.
21.
So, all right, put it on. So everything lights up a bit after you cast light. I just made everything a little brighter just to fit that moment. It's a little hard to see, but still.
Would you look at that brightness?
So this light is like back casting off you, and you just start taking out your instrument, taking out your sword, and tell me what you do to entertain everybody, and I'll tell you how many people
yes,
come
I'll
over.
throw my cloak back, keeping it on me, but having it more now look like a cape. And I'll draw both my swords at once, a long sword and a short sword. And I start dancing and doing like the hoop twirls?
Yeah.
But instead of with hoops, it's with the blades dancing around me. They get thrown into the air. My dagger gets pulled out and thrown into the air. I'm catching it behind me and just singing and dancing around as you just see my form merge with the shape of the blade and then comes out and just dancing with blades.
Kanza will actually take her swam out and she'll start playing a melody in regards to how you're moving.
Okay.
All right,
I'm gonna pretty much just like stomp my foot and clap my hands to the beat.
Yeah.
All right, so that will give me a bit. Okay, I was gonna roll just for how many people come by and focus, but give me a performance check with advantage because Jagger is helping you out, Kazan, and then I'll roll
I'll
to see
start
how many
playing the
people.
spoons.
I'll roll how many
Okay.
people come. I'll roll with advantage to how many people depending on what you roll.
All right.
So basically, what I'm doing right now is if you roll high enough, I'll
Nat
give.
20.
Okay, so
Well,
24.
yep. So you come out and you start playing this heavenly music that just somehow is an exact rhythm to the sword throws, and it's quite fucking impressive. So here we go. Like because of the nat 20 and everything you guys have done, I'll roll 3 fucking d20s to try to get the highest number possible. This is me having fun here. All right, so
God fucking damn it, James.
of the 25 people on the board right now, you guys get 14 people start just start paying attention to everything that you guys are doing, and they all move up to the front of the ship. Looking back, Kazan, you'll notice that those guys that you were scoping out before are the ones that are sitting back. Basically, everybody who's not paying attention, they're the most decked out people here. They have the nicest equipment. They're the people who look like they're ready for whatever the fuck is about to happen next. But you guys go ahead and play out for the night. Eventually, you're going to hear from Madeline, unless you guys want to do something else during that real quick before I get back to Madeline.
All I know is, as I'm finishing up the performance, I toss both my sword and my long sword and short sword into the air, cast Ray of Frost to frost them, and as I catch them, I clash them together and just create that shining sparkle of ice crystals off my blades, and then I put
Actually,
them away.
which was perfect with the video, just kind of freezing like bright light. Like you just.
I'll ask one last thing for only you, Alexander. As you're doing that, you're facing with this light to your back, and you're facing the back of the ship. Give me a perception check, DC 18.
That was a miracle. Okay. Unnatural 20. 18 plus.
Right. You've been at sea a long time. You've sailed for years. You've seen all types of just open seas. In fact, most of the seas in your life has been open. I mean, yeah, there's dangers out there. There's sharks. There's occasional little monsters. Some giant squids. That might be the most dangerous things you normally run into. But you swear, miles away, you see a tentacle wiggling around the water. And you're thinking yourself, for how fucking far that away, it can't really be that big, because you've been on the ocean for so long. Do you have a periscope? You know, if that's what it's called, where you can look through?
I don't.
Did you take that? Did you take that?
I don't think so. Let me double check what I have. Equipment.
And if you don't,
No, I chose to get the belaying pin for navigation.
all right. So here's what we're going to do: roll an intelligence check. If you roll a 14 or higher, you would be smart enough to probably think that somebody on the ship probably has one. But maybe you're.
How? I have 8 intelligence. I got a 17, so that's a 16.
All right, so
Just
you
cups both
see
hands together and does this.
You know, you see some of the deckhands who have come up and started listening to you. You take a look down by one. You see that Jagger is standing right next to him, and hey, I need your help. You. He comes up to you, sir. What's going
Listen,
on?
I gotta borrow this from you real quick, and literally just grabs the glass and just.
Oh. So you take a look, and once again, it's quite small, but because of your knowledge of seas, that shit has to be hundreds of feet into the air. That is insane, because you're looking at it and it's that far away, you know something is fucking up.
Puts it back on him. Get ready for a run. And I will immediately start going over to. I'll just do this and immediately start going towards the where I saw the captain went, just to try to fucking talk to him.
Can I grab that spyglass from him real quick and just
You
go and take
like
it?
I said, you were right next to the guy he took it from as he came up, so you saw this. You know his face. You're not trying to hide that something's happening right now, right?
Oh no!
So
No, I had that moment of. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so Kazin, you see this too. So you want to grab the spyglass from the other guy as he gave it back to him?
Yeah, like just immediately, as soon as he gives it back, just take it right back, open it up, and just look and be like, "Oi!"
Well, no.
Oh, look at
Make a
that thing.
perception check. You're not used to the sea, and you don't have you would have to know where to look at night. The reason I gave this as Zounder because there's a lot of stuff I'll do is because of your background, guys. Just letting you guys know.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. 16.
16, that's not enough for you. Unfortunately for him, DC was lower, so this is something else you guys will see. Some people's DCs will be different. So for you, it would have been a 20. You're looking out there, you're seeing waves, you're seeing thunder, lightning. You just enjoyed a pretty nice show. You're not really sure, like, why did he just rush off? Cassian, you see this, do you do anything?
She notices and she kind of looks around, just seeing what the ship has to defend itself, and that's
Well,
about
you
it.
don't you don't know
Oh, that
unless
part.
unless you're doing it because you instinctually, which I will give it
Well,
to you.
I would just say I notice. Let me
His-
just throw perception and see if I notice him running like crazy.
No, you did. You definitely noticed him. You were right next to him, playing up there with him. What I'll say is, what is your passive insight? What's your passive insight? And I'll see if how well you were able
14.
Yeah, with a 14, you would be in your background. You picked up that something has him off.
Yeah,
He's
so
shaking.
I'm doing like a little perimeter, just seeing like what is weapons on the top deck to make sure it. To me, they look like they're in top shape.
All right, so because it's night, it's hard to see, but you take a look over the over the top of the ship, and you see cannons. You start walking from one side to the next. You count 1 cannon, 2 cannons, 3 cannons, 4 cannons, 5
Oh
cannons.
yeah, you took it
6
right out of my
cannons.
mouth.
You go to
I
the
was
other
actually,
side.
if I noticed the cannons, I was going to go down to the deck where the cannons were.
Okay, so
Make sure they look like they're in decent shape.
all right, so we're gonna get back to you. So Kazan starts rushing down. You see this Jaguar, but we're gonna cut back to a few moments ago. Dinner's being cooked. What's going on? What's the topic while you guys are flame broiling your dinner? If you wanted to ask him anything specific or just wanted to make dinner.
No, so you seem just as brilliant as the captain. Maybe perhaps you could tell me some of the things that you've seen before. Or maybe the stories of other adventurers such as ourselves. What they've seen or what they've fought.
Oh wow, I've had this question before, but not while cooking. First of all, but it's over usually. You know, the ladies buy me a beer. I'm
Oh,
joking.
I could.
I'm joking. Don't worry. See, the one thing I will tell you, this world, it has wine. It has a lot of wine.
I've never tried wine. It sounds lovely.
He's gonna insight check you.
Okay.
He only got a 9. Are you? He believes you. Okay, unless you weren't trying to lie.
You don't know. It's a 9.
Okay, great. So he's like, all right, that seems for somebody who is dressed as nice as you, that seems quite odd. But okay, grapes are still one of the things that keep growing around here, still warming up around the continent. But whatever, we're not talking about that. But yeah, you were asking my ventures. What have I done? Well, I was sent out there just like as you were. I'll be honest, and I went somewhere. You know, I went somewhere and I gained some skills, but I had to leave. It wasn't right for me, and I had the opportunity to leave, and I left.
What did you fight while you were out there? What skills did you get?
Oh, what skills did I get? Well, this is how all the rumors start, right? Believe me if you want, believe you don't. It's how it happens. I got some powers for water. I mean, surely you saw the little trick I pulled off washing my hands off earlier right there, right?
Yes, it was very impressive.
Yeah, and I don't know how much you know about ships, but most people don't sail in this direction in this type of weather and have this great of a calm experience across the ocean. So,
Is this your doing?
oh me, no, this is the captain's. In fact, captain is way above me. I have some magical powers. You know, like a druid, if you ever heard. I could do certain things, but I don't have the command that the captain was able to grasp as well as I have.
Well, what you've shown me before has been quite impressive. So
Oh yes,
don't sell
and,
yourself short.
oh no, of course I've done some pretty amazing things, but unfortunately I wasn't able to complete what I needed to complete to help out my patron per se. There was a time that I was similar to you, sent away to complete a task, and I could give you a lot of the information, but let's just be honest. I'm just gonna be honest. I feel like it builds more character when you know a little less and learn on the way. And I'll be honest, it wasn't that hard for me to get there. You know, like.
But you're much stronger than I am. As you could tell, I could barely handle that knife.
Trust me.
Or that pot.
Trust me.
Or that fish, to be perfectly honest.
It was easy. I went with Captain. He led the way, and a few others, and Seas were calm. It was it was just about finding the location, but things get darker and darker these days, and but yeah, well, it's more about can you survive out there, and I hope this little cooking lesson will teach you at least about making food on your own if you need to. But I'll
Maybe
give
I
you
could
one.
buy a little bit of spices from you.
Oh, spices. Nah, you'll be fine. But I could give you my recipe. That's if you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely. I love knowledge of any kind.
Oh yes. In fact, if you give me in the morning, I will. I'll type up sorry, not type up. I'll write up a few different things you can make with maybe some of the wildlife and some of the animals you'll run into. And it might be very useful for you if you don't. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that for you. Definitely. I'll write your cooking book.
That's darling. Thank you so much.
I call it eye patch special, and then he just widens the one eye.
Clever.
And he's like, be careful out there. And he lifts up his one eye, and the other eye is completely stone.
Okay, she's going to try not to flinch.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say to you is find some people you'll trust. Me and my captain couldn't do it alone. But anyways, the dinner. So let's start plating and serving this out. You may not really know what plates are per se, or well, I'm sure
I know what plates are.
Okay. Well, have you ever seen ones like these and they're metal, nicely engraved? They're like they're fine fucking dinery. Like yeah, up to the character, if his backstory, if you've seen fine dinery or not, if your father was that rich.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now, what you've heard of pirates, they do not eat fine dinery. This is shit that the echelon of high upper class from the continent would eat on. This is out of fucking place. So that's happening. You guys are serving out the food, plates are shift, and then you see Alexander. Alexander, are you going to stop at the first floor?
I'm specifically looking for the cat.
The cat. Okay. And what are you about to say real quick, Madeline?
Oh, I would just say, as a little bit of flair to our lovely dinner, I'll cast prestidigitation, and I will release a beautiful floral scent into the air around dinner.
Oh, amazing. So at the end of you guys preparing dinner and serving everything out, the dinner's served, and you see Alexander run down the stairs, screaming for the captain. You pass the cannons. You don't even give the mind. You look real quick. You don't see the captain.
Overly. I'm not screaming for him. I'm just looking for him feverish.
No, sorry. You just run past him, but you don't see him up there by the cannons, and you don't see him close with the food. So you run downstairs, and I will just put up a map. I'll put up some stuff right now. You guys give me a second. Yeah, she's going to show you guys I'll show you guys. I've described him before, but I'll show you guys what the captain actually looks like. So here's the captain.
Just kidding.
Blue hat, eye patch. He has a shield and a instrument on his back. All right. So that's who you guys see there. You come down to the basement of the ship. He's sitting down at one of the tables, seemingly waiting for his dinner. He's sitting to himself with a cup of water. That's all he seems to be drinking. And what do you say?
Don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but it seems we have off to whatever direction I was looking at, seems to have to put it bluntly, a massive tentacle ready to crush the ship if we get near it.
Just like the ones in the Japanese anime.
You're not there.
I know, it's just a joke.
All right. You're sailing. How far off do you think it was?
Probably a few miles off. Fair ways away, but from the size of the thing, it is a massive creature. Easily. We crush the ship if we get near it.
All right, to the top of the deck. Let me go see this myself.
Of course.
So he comes, starts making a sturdy step, walking up. He looks over, sees you, Kazan. So what are you doing right now? He just looks over and what he sees you doing.
I'm just making sure everything looks like the cannons are in working proper in order. So just in case they need to be used, we know which ones are workable and which ones aren't.
Make an investigation check, and I'll see what you found out while you were taking a look around everything.
Okay. 17.
Oh yeah, 17. So you don't know much about cannons per se, but you quickly put together like, all right, that is some type of ball. All right, I know how ships work. Cannons, those must be the gunpowder there. You check the wicks real quickly to make sure none of them are wet for the explode. To light them, they all feel warm. And you quickly go through and like everything on this ship is in top order.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. And you actually start thinking, you don't know much about sailing, but there's actually not that many crew on this ship. For how fast the ship is going with that roll, it's like pretty impressive. And you have guided that as well, Alexander. This is a pretty impressive operation that the captain could relax through a storm and wait for dinner. Like, that doesn't happen during a storm.
Not at all. No. This is a rare ship. That's part of the reason too. I was so fervent in making sure we don't sink it.
So, Madeline, please just make a perception check. I want to know if you overheard that conversation with the captain and the...
Natural 20.
Oh, yeah, you overheard that. What do? Do you tell Patchy, or
My
do you go
inner
away?
thoughts.
I will go over to Alexander.
Oh, he went up. They were on the
I'll
other
go
place.
I'll go after him.
Okay, so you put down the food. Patchy looks over like, what's going on?
Apparently there's trouble. Something about a giant tentacle. I'll be right back. I'll come back and report whatever I hear.
He hears you put that. The moment you look around, he's already at the ladder. The moment you turned, this big turtle passed you and is already up and climbing up the ladder.
Nice.
By the time you get to the second floor, he's already at the top, next to the captain. And then Alexander, you like, what? Where the fuck did this guy come from? Captain, I heard. What's going on? The captain takes out a spyglass, starts looking. There, port. I think that's the back. He looks.
Port is left.
Port is left. Starboard is right. It's aft is back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. This is not only a shipping camera.
Oh, don't worry. I'm
That
gonna
was
We're learning.
I'm gonna get the fucking
I-
idiot's guide to sailing like Travis has. I
I
promise you that.
only know because of my mother with owning a boat for.
No, this is great. This is great because there might be
Working at the marina.
potentially you guys just like if you guys could get
Why the
vehicles.
fuck did I pick the sailor background when I don't know shit about boats?
I should have picked sailor, to tell you the truth. I should have got. If I had known we were doing water, I would have gone with the buccaneer.
This is.
Oh my god, yes, the swash.
Guy, I will just remind everybody. You guys are now in the world of Tempest. That's all I'm telling you. This is just the
We're
beginning.
gonna fucking die.
You're just in the world of Tempest right now. This is
And it was a TPK from a kraken.
So, the captain looks at his spyglass. That must be, this is actually quite flat ocean. In fact, maybe 100 miles off. Shit, that shit is big. How could it even be so big? That's kind of crazy. He looks over to you. What's your make on this? Will it catch us?
I mean, I've never seen one that's big before. And most of the time,
Come
when I see
on,
them,
give me an educated guess.
I would say
press
yes. From the size of this thing, yes.
Having the beast
if it's that
as
far
a
off
favorite
and-
enemy, would I know anything about the giant
The
tentacle?
Kraken is not a beast, so unfortunately, you will not.
Yeah,
So-
I'd say just with how big it is and all of that, I'd say no. I'd say it would very easily catch us, even at how fast we are. It is a big fucking animal.
You said the right thing, but unfortunately, you're incorrect. You're with me, and I'm paid to keep you safe. Now, any other ship, any other person, any other crew, you and everybody else here will be dead. And he waves over to everybody else. Hey, rest of you over there. Yeah, you. I know if you're king, you're You're good with ships and everything. Tie everything down. He points over to the guys that look ready, that Kazan was checking out. They see instant the captain tells them to get ready. They all start strapping things down. Tie down all the boats. And as you guys are looking around, there's a lot of little dinghies attached to the ships, all with rowboats in there. Tie down everything. You lot, I don't know how helpful you're gonna be, so just hold on. You get down below deck. If you want to stay on board deck, you might be able to see something fancy. Alexander, I'll show you something. Just hang on, all right? He goes to the back of the ship. He takes a necklace. He's holding. He puts it inside his shirt. He holds on. He looks down at the water behind, reaches out his hands, and all you see is a massive wave just come like it's about to take the ship. Everybody sees what the wave goes down and pushes underneath the ship, and the ship just seemingly rides under the wave, just pushing it at speeds you've never seen. I want everybody else to do a
Dexterity saving throw?
No. It's gonna be a check. I want you guys to either do a
Our hang 10 saving throw.
No, I want to do two things. I'm letting you guys choose because everybody should have rope. Unless you don't have rope, if you tied yourself to part of the ship, if you stayed above the ship, you either have to tie or you have to hang on to something. If you went down below, it's a very easy check, just to, strength to just hold on to something. So where's everybody at? Below or above? Or do you?
I'm below.
Well,
Okay,
since the
you
captain said I should stay up there with him, I'm above. I will say if
About
I
you?
see him doing something, I will grab a
Oh, yeah,
armful of rope.
Yeah, you're gonna see everything. What about you, Jagger or Madeline?
I'd say I was probably still up above since I was kind of staring through the spyglass like an idiot, not knowing what my party was doing.
Okay, Madeline. You can't go upstairs, but you go back down if you want.
No, I'd actually like to be in both. I'd like to stay on the stairwell and kind of peer over so I
Okay.
can see outside.
So because you're in a stairwell, there's not gonna be nothing to there's not gonna be nothing for you to tie yourself to. So you have to make a strength check.
Oh no.
Jagger, are you making a strength or you tied yourself up?
I'll make a strength check.
All right. For you, Kazan, you just have to make a strength check, and Alexander, you tied yourself up, so you could choose on whichever one you want because you depends on how good you tied it or how good your acrobatics was able to.
23 for the strength check.
Oh, you're
Give
fine.
a check for my acrobatics. Keep my footing. Oh, that is a definite on keeping my footing. 18 plus 6.
Madeline,
Just put my hole through the fucking floor.
11. Or Kazan, strength.
It's gonna be dexterity. No, it's cocked.
No. This is a strength check, not a acrobatics or athletics. This is strength.
Strength, it's 8.
8. Okay.
Oh wait, strength check. Hold on. Sorry, no, it's 10. I was
Okay.
looking at the wrong thing.
All right, so we'll start off with Alexander. Actually, Jagger first. So you were looking through the spyglass. Being a hunter, you always have rope and things to your pack at hand. You see what you hear the captain tell you to tie yourself down or hang on. You run over near the wheel, and right there you see a sturdy piece of wood. Wrap yourself around twice. Make an amazing knot. Then the captain looks over you like, ha ha. All right, Alexander.
Always be prepared.
Alexander's right next to the captain. You see the captain lean over. He doesn't seem to be afraid of falling off it or anything. His balance is very patchy there as well. Just standing still like nothing. This is not going to affect him at all as well. You tie yourself. You strength check, right?
I use acrobatics.
Acrobatics. So you tied yourself up
basically
as well.
Throwed my arm into one of the ropes to hang on and basically keep an eye. I will say the only other thing I did was just gently pull my hood up.
Okay. So you do that. Some water gets in your nose, but it doesn't bother you at all.
I breathe it.
Kazan, down below, you're walking around the cannons, but you start feeling the boat shake, and you just grab one of the cannons instinctually as a monk, and then you're able to move and ride it out with the monk being downstairs. You're a little bit more center of the ship. Madeline's on the steps, and it was a DC 15. You're trying to balance, and you just start falling back, and you fall 10 feet backwards, taking 4 bludgeoning damage as the ship starts rocking. Nobody hears you, Owl, right now, just because it's just this waves, wind, and the ship waves, and then it just goes like the water cresses, and it's just like you're going down a giant wave. The wave it's just like you're going vertical. Everybody's just feeling like, oh, and I'll roll for other people on the ship, see how good they did. All right.
Everyone fell off the ship and died.
Natural one. So,
Ooh.
I was right.
so
You
natural
were
one.
saying, James?
So for everybody else who was downstairs in the dinner quarter, they fall, hit the wall, taking 6 points of bludgeoning damage. A bunch of them start falling, hitting the mast. I'll roll for if they're able to make a saving throw, dexterity to hang on, or if they fall off. Okay, this is a 17, and I will roll for how many of the 25 people saved. So 13 out of 25 people grab onto ropes, grab onto stuff, and usually guys just see people just gone in the darkness. Everybody on top, you guys just looking down and just seeing people Titanic level just falling off just into the darkness, just gone, just absolutely gone. The captain sees this and says, "No! No!" But he looks back and just thinks for a second, and then the Patchy looks at him, and even though everybody else they're keeping their balance perfect, Patchy looks at the captain. "We must go. We can't." And the captain just pushes on, and this whole wave just keeps going and going until it starts leveling out. The captain takes his spyglass, looks back, and he doesn't see anything. This all took about 10 minutes, and you guys have went miles, like fucking hundreds of miles. As quick as you've ever seen Alexander as a sailor. It was unbelievable. The captain is sweating. "Oh, I can't do that for a while." "Good work, Captain," Patchy says. "Yeah, let's go see if we could go salvage dinner, and I'll check everybody over." He looks over to Alexander. "Yeah, if you're lucky, maybe you could even do that one day."
Yeah, maybe. But no offense, I plan not to lose people like that.
"I understand, trust me. That's kind of why I left. That's exactly why I left. That's exactly why I couldn't save them." And he just slammed his head. "If I didn't give up, maybe I could. Maybe I could change this." Shit. Whatever. I see I'll try now. If you want, check who's alive. If you have magic to aid heal who needs to be healing.
I'll do what I can.
And I'll go check up who's top. So he goes and check out some of the other people. Like, he's been talking with you guys as well, but here and there you guys see him say hello. He doesn't seem to be, he's very nice to everybody. He doesn't seem to he likes you guys very much, and you guys don't know why yet completely, but he's really generally friendly. So you guys are making through it pretty well. Madeline, you are on your back, stuck between some crates. You were lucky. Kazan, you see this? What do? You see her like jammed between two crates, fall on the level you are.
I'm still down. I'm on the down level.
That's what she is too. She was on the stairs and she fell off the stairs right where you were.
Oh, okay. So I go over and move things and help her up.
Thank you. That hurt.
Yeah, that was quite a doozy.
I hope this isn't how adventures are supposed to go. I can't take much more of those.
One must be prepared for the unknown.
I'm prepared for the unknown. I'm just not prepared to be hurt.
That is one of the unknowns.
So, you guys can keep talking while this is happening. Jagger and Alexander, I'll let you guys tell me whatever happens once you guys are done. What you guys talking about?
I'm basically just walking around, casting healing word on anyone who needs it.
Okay.
I'm going to assess, make sure there's no damage to the boat.
Me?
Okay.
Do I get a healing word?
He would have to come downstairs. So do you?
Eventually, like after I check the people on the first deck.
I'll say that take you a good 2-3 minutes to find everybody who's left on deck. And this time, Kazan and Madeline, you guys are the only ones in the gun quarters right now where all the cannons are. And once again, just quickly looking around, seems kind of there's not even enough people on the ship to fire all these cannons. Like, it's clear, like enough crew. It is odd.
They must use something magical to send these off, because from what I could tell from downstairs at dinner and upstairs after the wave, or before the wave, it didn't look like there was enough to actually fire these things.
There
11
may
points back to him.
there may be something special about this, but we are not one to pry, and some things are better kept with those who want to keep those things.
I suppose discretion is one form of modesty that I'm told that I need to show more of. So I will not ask.
It is not modesty, but it is secrets that sometimes require certain ways of finding the information.
Whenever you're ready, Alexander, you could jump in and say you walk downstairs.
Well, like I said, as I'm going through, eventually I'll come down. Just seeing the bump on the head, I immediately cast it 11 points back to you.
That's definitely overkill. I feel much better.
Well, I got the smaller ones out of the way first, and I made sure to use up what I needed.
Well, I definitely appreciate that. I'm not sure if you noticed this, but you're still a little wet, and I'll cast Prestidigitation on that area.
And as you do that, you hear a knock real quick. It's just a captain looking up. Hey, you lot. Damn, I keep rubbing into you. But anyways, me and him are going to take care of dinner, make sure the beds are not wet. Give us about an hour, and then come down for dinner. Tell everybody else they can come down to grab a plate too. And you guys have the time to do whatever you guys need to do, all right?
Sincere.
Thank you,
So
sir.
So if you guys want to role play or anything for 1 hour until dinner's ready, and then after that, you guys are gonna go into a long rest, and then we'll take a physical break for us in real life, and then we'll go on to the next day, and then go from there.
Well, I can't go for too much longer. I got work tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're not gonna go for longer.
Yeah.
Are you guys
But just
Are you guys-
because I was thinking of doing this 3-hour session, so to 10 o'clock is good, right?
Yeah, 10
Yeah, 10's good.
Yeah,
That's what I was doing, 3 hours.
Yeah. If you don't mind me asking, are you guys with anyone else? Are you traveling with people, or?
No, I am simply sent here just to find information for my master.
The guild kind of just had me come here since they thought I'd be a pretty good tracker for any sort of missions they'd have against the monsters.
And for me, it's a simple mission of myself. I left more to just build a name and help people.
Well, I haven't really traveled here with anyone either. So, my father said that if I go out, that I should make friends. And if none of you have anyone to travel with, I'd love to help in any way I can. I just learned how to cook.
Well, that is an impressive skill one must have, which is also essential. But as for friends, one must be careful of who holds close to saying friends and who will stab you in the back.
I mean, that's kind of a pessimistic way to look at things. I say more the merrier. I'm more than happy to travel with friends.
I'm going to take out 2 little cups, and is there a little keg or something of like ale or anything sitting anywhere near the near us?
Actually, make a perception check. Let's see if anybody left one on that deck.
All right, let's see. 15.
Yeah, you see next to a cannon, there's just a little tiny keg of ale, and it's just sitting there unopened. Look like somebody brought it up here from downstairs where the rest of the food things would be.
I'm gonna give it a little pop to the side to kind of open it up, and just take out 2 full cups of ale, hand one over to Madeline, and then just raise it and be like, a glass to some new friends.
I've never
Like this
actually
one
had
said.
alcohol before. Just to new experiences and new friends, I suppose.
Yeah, that's right. And then
No,
just gonna take it all in one go.
Yeah.
Ugh, that That's not very good.
You get the better the more you drink it. I promise you on that one.
Make a Constitution saving throw, Madeline, to see if you peek up just a little bit on it. You only had a little bit. It's only a DC 10.
No, I mean I got 6. So.
Oh yeah, you take a sip, and they're like, ugh, that all the tumbling down the stairs and everything. It just like this rocking of the sheet. It just like it was a bad time to have your first drink. It was not the best.
Maybe we'll wait.
I'll cast prestidigitation, and I'll just hand the drink over to Alexander.
Maybe we'll wait till you get.
Very proper thing to be doing.
We'll wait
I
till you
didn't
get
mean to.
No, it is fine. We'll wait till you get on land. Not everyone.
She can't help it. She's a bit of a lightweight on the ocean.
Yes, exactly. It's your Silex. It's definitely your Silex. Nothing you need to worry about.
One must know their strengths and weaknesses to get through life.
Well, that drink is definitely a weakness of mine. I suppose. Does anyone want to go for dinner? Maybe we can get to know each other better.
I will eat.
Could always go for some good grub.
Alright, so you guys
Sounds
talk.
like a plan to me.
You guys talk for a moment. Drink. Sometimes a little quiet because it's a little awkward. You don't fully know each other, but
Just
you guys
water.
you guys see a little. Yeah, you take out your water skin and scoff it down a little too fast. Cough for a second, but you're feeling a little better after drinking the water to get the taste and the rockiness out of your.
My character, she'll drink some tea from her one of her skins.
All right.
I'm going to just be like shaking about my freaking cup of ale as I start exclaiming some of my better hunting stories. Maybe a few of them where I've wrestled the owl bear or a crocodile here and there. You know.
Eventually, you guys hear a bell, and Alexandra will definitely know this is a tradition of this world. That's the dinner bell. On the ship, you guys make your way down after informing the people still upstairs. The captain doesn't talk at all during dinner about. He sits by himself for a while, but eventually his friend Patchy sits over. The rest of the crew find their own seats. Some people sit on floors, but he never mentions the people he lost. He seems to be pretty beaten up about it, but unless you guys want to role play dinner at all, we could just take a quick 5-minute break if you guys need. If not,
I would say Kazani was, as Jaeger was talking about his thing, she's listening to kind of understand how he fights.
Who fights? Sorry,
Jaeger.
Jaeger.
When he's talking about his hunting stories.
Yes.
Because
Jaeger,
information is key for her.
So, Jaeger, so far you seem like a very open character about your hunting, like you've been known. Are you trying to hide any of your accolades, or are you very honest about what you can do?
Not at all. I let her know if she wants. Talk about how I always use my one hand. It's a slightly bigger, kind of wider sword. Looks almost like easiest way to describe it would be a buster sword. And then the other, I normally keep a small short sword.
All right, so you take some time, you explain some stuff about how you fight, just about your accolades, and can you make a investigation check for me? Insight check for me, Kazan?
Yeah, and I will say when he mentions that he fights with a long sword and a short sword, of course, I chime up of, I see a man of taste when it comes to combat.
Of course, always got to get close to really know the enemy.
And I show off my long sword and short sword as well.
Seems a little
Unnatural
dangerous,
20.
you two.
Natural 20?
Unnatural.
Make another roll for Alexander, as he seems to boasts up about it as well.
She learns our deepest insecurities and fears.
Oh,
She knows
her
about it.
background-
Unfortunately for him, I only get a 7.
Okay, so for Alexander, you're reading him almost like a book. Like you're seeing his dress, hunter. You put it together. Yeah.
You mean Jaeger?
For Jaeger, you mean?
Jaeger. So Jaeger. Sorry, Jaeger. You realize? Yeah, he's a ranger. 2 weapons. Yeah. You're basically breaking him down. Yep. He's definitely elf, some type of elf, and you get some basic information about him. 2 weapons.
I'm just more figuring out how he fights and seeing if I can figure out his weaknesses at the same time.
So you're not getting specifically any weaknesses because everything he's talking about is his strength. He's not revealing anything he's kind of messed up on, but you get basically his race, his
His weakness is modesty.
Yeah. That's what you get if you want to use it like that way. He's overconfident.
weakness
If
is
there's anything you
stingrays.
want to get from that, you get as a non you get that he might be a little overconfident in his ability, and you kind of saw that earlier too before you walked away from the fish. Like he was all gun ho to jump into it before really figuring out what the captain exactly wanted. But yeah, he uses 2 weapons. For Alexandra, you get that he basically said that he likes using 2 weapons, but you haven't fully figured out his skill sets. You've seen him heal, but it is odd. You're not really sure what's his deal, and he still eludes you somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else for dinner?
I'd say also a real good thing to analyze from it would be, oh fuck, great! I just lost my train of thought.
Take your time.
It's okay.
Never
Come
mind.
back to
No,
it.
no, go ahead.
His
The
memory
train will
is
come back
also a
around the
weakness.
station.
If you're gonna have a long rest, so if it bounces back in your head, you could definitely say it.
Well, I'm sorry about the drink before, but I look forward to traveling with you guys. At least, Jaeger, your life seems interesting. And Alexander, you have several skills. And Kazan, thank you for your help. This is going to be quite an adventure for me, and I'm looking forward.
Okay, I
Can't wait to
remembered
tell
it.
Father.
A big thing to also notice would be for Jaeger. He kind of treats a lot of the times when it's like fighting or hunting. You kind of see like how he treats it almost as if it was a child playing a game of tag. Like he treats it as a game more than it is of a serious, survival.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So as we are limited on time, and I like how we're going a little quick too. Thank you guys. We're gonna take you guys have your dinner. Captain sorrowfully eventually gets up early. He looks at some of you and he looks at some of the other guys. He looks at you guys in the face and gives you kind of that sorrowful, just kind of nod as he walks past with his one eye. He looks sad. He looks sad at the thought of losing people. He does give you guys all a extra little tiny, you see a little bit of joy that you guys made it, and you're still not 100% sure why that is yet.
Insight check.
Yeah, go for it.
Why did you all have to live?
7. Never mind.
You can't get it yet. You just can't figure it out yet, but yeah. He goes off to bed. You guys take a long rest. Do anybody here want to take a 5 minutes to get some food, go to the bathroom? If not, we'll go off into the next segment before we end out. For the
Well,
night.
I would just say Kasana does like a little night ritual of certain things in her wherever she is.
Yeah.
And then goes to bed.
Okay. For sleeping, most of the crew takes the beds. You guys have to use your whatever sleeping rolls,
My
anything
sleeping
you
bags,
guys
yeah.
brought to find places to sleep.
I will use a web spell in order to make myself a little hammock.
Easily
Jaeger's
enough
gonna
do
pretty
that.
much just climb up to the crow's nest and just sit in there, like bundled up,
Actually,
and just hide in his little sleeping bag there.
Kasana sees Madeline make a web nest, and she goes, is there a little extra web you can give that I can use to make sure some things I have stay where they are?
I suppose so. I have some extra on each side if you'd like.
So she'll take a little, and then she'll go. She will go to the captain's, right outside the captain's quarters, and leave some of the web dangling right in front of, like, just a little sticky down, as her little silent revenge for
Alright, so-
the disrespect that was served to her.
Just make a stealth check as you go with advantage, go into the captain's quarters. Advantage is for a specific reason.
17.
17. So as you step softly, carefully, trying not to creak, you hear thunder, rain outside, and you realize, well, this is actually going to be easier than you think. Then you hear, yeah, the captain's knocked the fuck out, and you easily walk up and set the spider webs just hang above the
Yeah,
mantle.
just
so like,
dangling. Yeah, by the from as soon as he opens the door, he'll see this kind of like dangling down.
it's you actually do such a good job that he might actually walk right into it. In fact. So you guys all bed down to rest, and I'm sorry you guys need to stand. Do you guys want to take a break or no?
I'm
5 minutes.
pretty much
You guys-
fine.
Okay, you fine?
We can do 5 minutes
Okay,
if
go
you
ahead.
need it.
Yeah,
No,
break
I
5
don't need it.
minutes.
I don't need it, but
Yeah.
I will.
And I will say the only other thing that I do, I know it's technically for short rests, but if you're okay flavoring it, my song of rest right before I go to bed, for whoever can hear it, I'll just play a gentle song for them.
Yeah, it's technically for short rest, but who says you can't do it? And something else, some people don't know, it's some people call it metagaming, but when you take a long rest, you could do an hour of regular activity. So you can cast a spell while you're long resting, and then get the slot back. That I do.
I will do that actually. So well, it doesn't matter since I'm going to bed anyway. But I will spend the hour after my web is ready to use the few components I brought with me and cast Find Familiar.
Okay, and
And-
another thing for you, you only have to trance as you are a wood elf. So you only need 4 hours of actual rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but okay.
I'm pretty much I'm up in the crow's nest. I'm making a little like tentish thing out of the top of it to keep me from the rain, and then I'm just like huddled up, almost looking like a caterpillar in my little bedroll, and just like slowly going to bed.
You know what? Then I guess, because if that's the case, to be fair to myself, I'll take a ritual cast of Detect Magic real quick before I
get
go to
back.
bed and just look around.
All right. So, to even be before I go to Madeline, to be very clear, what I'm saying here, you actually could get the rest, wake up an hour early, and cast a spell. Like you could cast Mage Armor and go back to sleep and get your slot back. It actually that's sage advice that's allowed in the rules. Nothing stops that. So you could get a free cast of Mage Armor or some other spells every day. So you cast Find Familiar.
Yes.
Yep. And what do we get to? Well, what do you get to see?
As I finish casting the spell,
Hmm?
you see this beautiful small black raven
Mhm.
appear from the sigil on the ground and carefully comes up to my shoulder and pecks lovingly at my cheek.
All right. So I'll say the rest of the party doesn't see this, but you do this quite quietly enough. People had a pretty hard night. So you do this in the background. You hear a song of rest coming from somewhere. It's quite lovely. It's a nice little tune. Cassin's nowhere to be seen. Jagger's nowhere to be seen.
Did I see anything in my immediate area with Detect Magic?
I'm gonna get to that in 1 second. So, because you did your song of rest, and while I was doing that, she did her Find Familiar. Then you go to do your. So, where are you sleeping? Are you sleeping in the dinner quarters? Or are you sleeping in the shooting court? Or the guns?
Yeah, I'd say among the people I played for, basically, just to like, I guess, comfort them with the music, if that makes sense. After everything that's happened.
Everything lights up. The ship lights up.
Yeah, I was expecting that much. I'm like,
Transmutation. Just like what's the one with for damage? Alteration.
evocation.
Evocation. For if you just take a quick look up at the cannons, the ship lights up like you've never seen before. This thing runs on magic.
So
About
it
what I
is
expected.
run on pixie dust.
This is about what I expected. Okay.
Is there anything specific you were trying to find?
Just kind of looking around to see what people have. Give an idea of what's around me.
All right, so you didn't really think much of them at first because you weren't paying attention, but you noticed some people dressed nicer and who were not really enjoying your show. And a lot of the people that survived were the people who were to the side who wasn't playing the show. And a lot of these people have swords that glow. They have items that glow beneath their clothes. They have people have like capes similar to yours. And as you know, your cape is just like the ring that you think back at is very rare. Anything that allows you to manipulate water, has anything to do with water in this world is very valuable if you know what it is. And you see some of these items, and you're thinking to yourself that you are not the most prepared person here. You clearly are not.
Hell of a day.
All right. Madeline, I will ask you as Kim, when you get a chance, just go to extras and add in the it into your inventory, the animal you summon.
Oh, that's how I do it. Okay.
Yep, go manage and then go to find familiar, just so that if you ever need to scout with it or anything, you have its perception, the stats right there. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. So, well, if nobody needs to take a few minutes break, we could just push through and get to the new world per se. You guys already know where this is going.
A whole new world.
Welcome to Astera.
Yep. Everybody, go ahead and take a long rest. Madeline, you do wake up earlier than everyone else, so if
Yep,
there's
I'm gonna
something...
do the mage armor suggestion that you had.
Okay, so you wake up 4 hours earlier. Do you do it right away when you wake up, or do you wait a little more till everybody else wake up?
I'll wait until everyone starts to...
Oh, I'm sorry. You have to do... No, actually, you have to do it at 3 hours in. So, actually, I might have to look up the ruling, but I'm just going to say, I'm DM. At 3 hours, you wake up, cast mage armor, go to sleep. So, for the next 8 hours after that, you have 8 mage armors, which should be fine. Should take you to about midday. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so you cast mage armor, go back to sleep, but you still woke up 4 hours earlier than everybody, but you obviously could lay back down if you personally feel like it. There's nothing forcing you to be up.
I'll probably be reading one of my books, one of my spell books, just to keep my mind sharp.
And just be clear, when you said earlier that you were checking out the hat, you did take the hour and attune to it, right?
I was going to attune to it tonight.
Okay, so during this time, you take an hour and you focus on the hat, you feel it out, and it clicks with you. You feel actually quite impressive. You think to yourself, ooh, well, that's going to be really helpful if I could use shields or found a way to use shields that could leave my hands free to do so many other things. I could just cast from the hat. It's fun. And make sure you don't forget that it does also have the other effect with the cantrip.
Yes, that's what I was going to do with the dancing lights. I don't have it.
Yeah, so if you want to do that with dancing lights, make a DC 10 intelligence check, I think it is. Let me make sure.
I think you can pick. I'm going to save it for today's charge, but I did see that. It looked really useful.
Let me see. So actually, let me just read it real quick, everybody else, just so I want to make sure. Okay.
I almost forgot you could summon an abyssal chicken as a familiar.
Yeah, you can.
I don't know why, I'm just thinking of like the chicken from Moana. Just like in all black feathers with little demon horns.
Yep, so it's once a day you could cast a wizard spell that you don't know. Okay?
That's awesome.
All right, so everybody else has a long rest. You wake up. It's quite a comfortable sleep, actually. This is the most comfortable you've ever been, Alexander, on the ship. Like, the waves didn't wake you up. It felt pretty damn good. And anybody, you've seen people go on the ship for the first time, and they just can't hold it down. Their constitution's bad, but you feel like, well, this is just a comfy ride. Everybody's okay. And you think to yourselves, they're lucky they're not on another vessel, because if they ever are, they're going to have a bad time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, so you come to bed, and breakfast is already being made. It's mostly vegetables, and most of it is sea-related vegetables, in fact. But it's put out, left out for everybody to eat. And waiting up top is the captain. He screams down for Alexander, and you go up.
I'll rush up.
Says, all right, let me talk to you. Come over.
Of course. See.
Yeah. I hope I'm not picking on you, but you're the man of the sea, so I feel like I have some type of kinship with you.
Oh, no, it's fine. Good to find a vessel like this, because it was every hand they can have free.
Ah, good. Now, I'm going to get serious with you, and a little more serious than I have been. Now, I've been preparing you because I was paid to keep you guys alive, but I noticed something. I haven't given you guys your last item yet, and it's an item that's very rare to get in this world, and that actually very much interests me because I'm very surprised that anybody or whoever is helping you, or if it's you yourself, because I'm very confused by that. But I don't know
for
how.
me, it's inspiration. Sent out on my own, but besides the
Yes,
point.
somebody sent this on for you too. You and the other three, and it's kind of interesting that you all three are getting to know each other too. When I didn't expect that as well. But if you could get the other ones in, my quarters are right over here. Meet me with my quarters, and
Oh, what happened with the spider?
don't worry, we're gonna get there. Don't worry, it's part of it. So you go and get the other three.
It's fine. Go done.
Okay.
Me
So
Inky.
so you grab everybody else. Do you guys all follow?
Yes.
Okay. You guys all follow Alexandra. He leads you over to the quarters. As you get there, Kazan, you look for your spider webs and you see it stuck to the wall, and you think to yourself and just imagining him like walking out and getting into his face and going. You just see it splashed all over on both sides of where the entrance of the door is. So the door is closed.
She keeps her face composed, but on the inside she's smiling.
All right. The door is closed.
You told us.
I'll knock to have him let us in.
Come on in.
Okay, I'll be ready. I don't know what he wants.
All right.
Open up the door.
You open up the door. There's a very, very big chair. A big chair fit enough for the turtle. Another smaller chair, and something more of like a lounge in this area right here. Lounge chair. You guys all find seats that feel comfortable for you. But I will say, who wants to sit at the desk right in front of him? Like, does anybody go first before the other?
I will go.
Because Zanny is going to actually stand.
Okay.
I will go ahead and take the seat because he's been asking for me, so might as well, eh?
All right. You guys all sit down before him, and all over the place. You stand up, Kazani. He brings up a bag from below. You guys hear crackling? Now. I've seen a lot of men, a lot of women, a lot of creatures, humanoids, whatever you want to call yourselves, or try to get to this place, this other place. It's called Monstrum. I can be honest with you about it now. It's a different world, in fact. They call it the discarded world, in fact. It's not like our world. Things appear there that shouldn't. People, creatures. Things are drawn there for some odd reason. And
Like what?
oh, well, like what? Like us. Why are we all headed towards this place? Isn't that odd? Why is so many of us, 25 of you started on this boat with me, my crew, and so many of you have died, and we're all drawn to some place that might take our lives? When you get there, you'll see what I mean. It's hard to explain. But anyway,
I'll cast detect thoughts.
Detect thoughts, go ahead. So DC 13, right?
Yep. Wisdom
What type?
13.
Wisdom 13? That's a 17 plus.
Oh, God. Darn
Okay,
it.
don't even tell the plus. Yes, it's 17 plus. All right, so once again,
If I may, when it comes to detect thoughts, initially casting it, because I love this spell, initially casting it, she'll still be able to read his surface thoughts. It just, if
yes,
she
you're
tries to
right.
go deeper, he needs to make the save.
Saves. Okay, great. You are correct about that. This is going to
Yay,
come into
thank
play
you.
later. You are correct. So,
I've
guys,
surface
used that
thoughts.
spell so
What
many
would you
fucking
do with a
times.
drunken
I almost
sailor?
got fucking TPK'd because of that fucking spell. I know it too well.
and that's important because that's actually going to come up later in the campaign. I forgot about that. Please, when you guys cast spells, maybe and you just, if I'll have to remind you, tell you, just read out the spell, and that will help out people for watching the video too. Read the spell description. It'll slow things down, but like I said, going forward, we do mostly combat. You read the surface thoughts on his mind as he speaks. So when he was speaking about people dying, it's not like the things you're reading is like sorrow, sadness. You're getting more emotional feelings from this guy. It's odd. You've used detect thoughts before, and you're feeling like you should be able to read exactly what he's saying on the surface, but it's more emotion there. But then as he talks about Monstrum, you get the surface thoughts of humongous creatures with multiple heads, mutated, twisted, fast wings, and you're thinking about power and gaining power. That's like the tip of his mind.
You
And,
see Madeline just kind of like curling up in fear in the chair from almost like what looks like nothing.
Mm-hmm. So he looks at where a glance. Do you actually try to push deeper or no?
No, I'm gonna.
Okay. All right. So
I will switch to his friend, the chef, in between.
No, the chef is not here.
Oh, just
chef,
him? I thought
yeah,
you said...
the chair. There's a big chair there that could fit the chef.
Oh, sorry.
But you can for the next minute. I think the spell lasts, right?
It is for up to a minute. Yes.
Your whole party's here as well.
I'll take a quick gander at the surface level thoughts of everyone in here.
So I'll start with Alexandra, Kasani, and then say your name one more time, James.
Jaeger.
Sorry.
Jaeger.
Like from Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or think of
Jaeger.
Jägermeister.
Yep.
Wasn't there a Jaeger in Attack on Titan too?
Yeah.
I don't know, but there's a drink called Jägermeister.
I just know it for Hunter in German.
Yeah, so I know for Alexander, you're basically feeling a lot of his thoughts are a little bit of sadness from the loss yesterday. He's still mulling that over, but more thinking of opportunities for glory to inspire people. It doesn't come off selfish. It more comes off like, no, I know. That's why I'm here. I'm hunting these things to let people know there is a glory to it. There is a hope. So he's kind of that it's the kind of thing of thinking of himself being an inspiration.
Okay.
All right, next. And so I'll tell you guys something else that will happen.
All right, for Kazani, you're seeing thoughts of, are these people capable of doing the job that she was tasked to? So she's mostly questioning who she's starting to realize she's being put with, and whether or not they will get in the way of what she's supposed to be doing.
Okay. Jaeger?
He's wondering what's going to be on this mysterious monster island. You can kind of sense he's got a lot of excitement, and almost like like it would be like a kid going to a toy store.
I was gonna say kid on Christmas Day.
Exactly.
And as you go one by one reading, taking a moment, you focus on the captain, then to the sailor, then to this martial artist and this brazen hunter. This is you've used the spell before, clearly, but you've not used it in such a situation. And you ran into something new. You sense another's presence in the room, hidden. There's someone else here who understands you, and their thoughts are present to you as well. Let me just read if you can see. When you cast a spell, you actually join. So you detect a presence, but I'm just flaring this because you usually would have to search for it, but because in this situation you're stressed out and you're a little afraid, you just know that there's somebody else here. That's all you know. You can't read their thoughts unless you go ahead.
As the captain is talking, I'm just gonna pipe up. There's something else here. Probably invisible, maybe?
The captain looks at you curious. Now, how would you know that?
I can sense them.
Curious.
Danny's actually in defense mode right now. Like, her body's tense and she's looking for.
So what the rest? Yeah, you guys all heard her say this.
Yeah, no, she's tense right now. and she's just looking around, and she's
Yeah.
slowly walking with pressing her back against the wall so she can assess all the other three sides of her.
Similarly, Alexander leans back in the chair to try to look relaxed, but he's gently mulling his free hand over, his swords to be able to tumble backwards and draw, get ready for a fight.
I don't mean to
You're
be
still
rude.
thinking about the giant monsters.
So the captain looks at you, and then looks at her. Where are they? Give me a perception check with disadvantage, everybody.
Okay.
Mhm.
That could be worse.
Ooh boy.
Yeah, that's worse.
Unnatural 20.
7.
Said unnatural.
Unnatural.
Okay.
Are you upset this character is not perceptive as your favorite one?
35.
35.
It's rough.
No, a dirty 5. A
Oh.
terrible, evil little 5.
So
No, don't worry. I got lower. I got a fucking 4.
I got a
So-
7.
the captain looks at all your eyes closely as you guys are all looking ahead. Lurk in the room.
Because Annie's going to, if she figures out where she thinks she is, she's going to launch her dagger in the spot where it is.
The captain looks and sees that you're about to. Did you find him? And you didn't, so you don't. He looks at you again, Madeline. So where are they? If there's somebody here invisible, you say.
And I'm going to cast Fairy Fire centered on myself.
Cast Fairy Fire centered yourself.
Detect it if they're invisible, they light up.
Don't see anything.
They couldn't be too far.
So the room is about 15 by 15. There's closets, there's bookshelves, there's stuff around, but can't really tell. But just hold on, just to say, do anything else. The captain laughs and passes us. Yeah, there is somebody here, but you guys can't find them. Unfortunately for you, it doesn't matter. Don't worry.
I'm gonna pry closer. Can I probe? I'm gonna try to probe the mind of the person that's invisible.
The spell ended. You need to cast the spell again.
Oh.
To probe to find their location. Because I just did it. I did it for flair. That you did it for free, but you actually have to use your action to do that, to find them. It's a cast spell, and then you can also use the spell to detect the presence of a thinking creature you can't see. When you cast this spell as your action during the turn, you can search it for 30 feet within 30 feet of you. Yeah, so you can use your action to search, but the spell's over now. So you can cast it again, but the captain is saying, well, you guys try to find him, but yeah, there's something invisible here, or someone invisible here, or something invisible here.
Okay, I'm gonna cast it again then.
All right, go ahead and search. Let me see exactly how to search.
Once I could detect the presence of the creature in this way, which I have, you can read its thoughts for the rest of the duration.
Okay, yeah. So you can just read their thoughts. You don't get to know precisely where they are. You just know they're here. So the creature is just laughing. There's a lot of just laughing at you. So funny. So
I'm going to use my... I can probe deeper? Well, for the duration, you can read the thoughts. Or you can focus your mind on one creature, which I will.
Yes, and you can try to probe deeper.
Yes, so then they do a Wisdom 13.
All right,
save.
So I didn't think I have to need to bring up their stats, but I will. This is great. You guys are awesome. Did not think I would need to bring up stats. So, I do.
One bad roll.
Oh, sorry. It's 15 plus 2. Yeah.
Level
I'll burn
4.
one more.
Level 4.
Yeah.
Level 5. Level 5, you can go next level. So you try to probe deeper, and if I'm correct, when you try to probe deeper,
It destroys the spell.
yeah, let me just make sure. Saving throw. If it fails, you gain inside emotional sickness, such as if it succeeds, the spell ends. Either way, the target knows that your problem is mine unless you shift your attention to another creature. So the creature can use its action to make an intelligence check. So are you going to keep on trying to probe again, or it's going to try to fight back if you try?
I'm gonna probe again.
Because that's how it works, Chris, right? Or does it instantly end?
That wording I actually need to double check.
Because it says, let me see. If you probe deeper, the target must make a wisdom saving throw. If it fails, you gain insight on its reasoning, if any, its emotional state, something looming on its mind, such as something worries, love, hate. If it succeeds, the spell ends. Oh, the spell ends. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
it'll drop.
Broccoli. Okay, so I thought you had to look away. So
yeah, no. What they're saying for that is basically you read its mind, and as it's realizing that you're doing it, you could immediately jump to someone else.
Ah,
So you glance a good amount of information, but then you jump away,
yeah.
and then they would have to search for who it was.
Cool. I'm actually glad that you have the spell because this was something I was going to give you guys later. So cool.
You can still give it to me.
No. It was going to give you guys a different way, but you would have get it the same way. So it would have. It kind of works out. It just means I can give you something else interesting. Think about it that way.
Well,
You cast it
she's
again.
upset. Yes. Madeline is not used to failing things, so she's going to try one more time to find
Alright,
it and break through.
So as you start doing the somatic verbal movement motions, which you have to do, so this is clearly visible to the captain just holds up a hand. If you would, I would advise to think about what happened yesterday. The creature that chased us. Do you think finding this creature, who I clearly am not worried about, is the most invaluable use of your spells, or maybe be prepared for whatever might come later on? I won't stop you if you really feel it, but you might need to be ready for what's come later on.
I suppose you might be right. So, Inky, and I'll turn to my little raven on my shoulder. Can you find this creature for me?
Make a perception check with
Inky
disadvantage.
and the brain.
Disadvantage.
Inky and the brain. One is a necromancer, the other's a bird.
Man, I can't do anything right.
And Chris,
Investigate.
Alexander, the Fury Fire, great idea, and in every other situation it would have worked, but just this one, no, it's great fucking idea.
I was so tempted to just use primeval awareness.
So good idea.
-1.
You got this. It fucking sees it immediately.
The raven is very bad. -1.
It knows everything.
Probably playing in my hair.
So the captain says, take this as a lesson. Failure is an option. I failed. It happens. Doesn't mean that you can't complete your tasks, and sometimes you have to be aware of the surroundings. If I'm not concerned, I don't feel like there's no need for you to be concerned. So let's get on to more important thing. This bag here that belongs to you lot, in fact. All came from different parts of the continent, but it all came to me. He opens the bag, and he puts out one potion bottle, puts out another potion bottle, and then puts out a very big potion bottle. Yeah, and he puts 4 sets of these out. There's 2 potion bottles of 2 regular healings and 1 superior healing potion. Everybody add that to your inventory while he talks. So 2 regular and 1 superior.
All right.
People, as some of you, as you will know, especially you, Kazani, die for these. The islands and the lands that grew the means to produce these by non-magical means have been wiped out. The going rates of these potions of health as or one's cost is worth more than gold and pounds. My crew even, some of them might kill me just for one of these vials. 10,000 gold apiece? I have no idea how whoever would be supporting you would send these to me. And thinking back, everybody give me a history check with advantage. This is thinking back on what you know about your patron. And for you, Chris, as you are your own patron, you're thinking back on your crew and anybody you've met back.
Natural 20.
Great.
Ditto.
Okay.
So history total is 22.
Make that 3 for the natural 20s.
Sorry, guys, I couldn't join in the fucking fun.
All right. So
15.
I will go, Jager. You think of first thinking about the Beast Hunter Guild. Healing potions. We just use herbalism kits and stable, and we did the wild way of healing. Never seen anybody.
Just rub some dirt on it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, heal yourself. You think back, Madeline, that as wealthy as you've been around, you've never seen a healing potion. You've heard of them, but you've straight up have never seen them.
Never needed one.
Yeah, you've never. Yeah, that's it. Kazan, you have used one for a mission. You went with a team. It was one of the first time you ever had somebody else, and you were told to keep somebody alive. And it was not used on yourself. It was actually used to save somebody else. You were disguised to bring them back and bring them back alive. If you want to run that into your backstory, feel free to. But you've used one. You understand what they are. And you, the most, have the best concept of that. Battles are fought over the remaining supply of healing potions in this world because it's a resource that's just not available. The people that could make these and have made these have basically vanished from this place. And for you, Alexander, you're going to see, you rub some salt. Yeah. It'll clean itself up, or if it gets really bad, cure wounds. That's been your solution most of your life.
Well, healing word, because I don't even have cure wound.
Oh, healing word most of your life. That's been your solution most of your life.
Well, when you dance
We
with
just
blades,
go
you
and,
learn how to not get cut. Simple as that.
We just go and slap some Marmite on it. Fixes everything.
So the captain leans up to you. I am very curious. And so what this means is nothing you could think about in your past, Madeline, Jager, and Kazani would make you think that your patrons would have access to or would even give you something that's this valuable. You guys don't even feel like you're worthy enough for something to be offered this valuable to you. And he looks at all three of you, all four of you. Who do you serve and why would they offer something so rare from this world?
I was
And
hoping you'd
he's
tell
just
us.
standing, and she's just doing this with her fan, like, as a nervous twitch, and she's just watching him to see what he's doing, while at the same time trying to see if she can see any movement from the invisible person.
No, realistically, you guys are not going to see it without.
Yeah, no, but this is what
DC.
she's doing right now in the room.
Yeah.
Even if I use that passive thing of Hunter's Awareness or whatever it is.
What does it do?
Oh Christ.
Yeah, because
Sorry,
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I gotta pull the thing back up.
As 9 o'clock is about to come, I will say no more than 10 minutes more before we end it up. All right, guys?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. mean, 10
Primeval
o'clock.
Awareness. As an action, you can expend one ranger spell slot, 1 minute per level of spell slot, to sense whether any aberrations, celestial dragons, elementals, fey, fiends, or undead are present within 1 mile of you, or within up to 6 miles if you are in favored terrain. This feature does not reveal the character's location or number.
All right, so you start to do this, you kind of have to focus and.
Oh no, I'm not using it. I'm just saying where I have been able to see it or sense it if I had used it.
No.
No, it would just.
If you could remember, read it over again. You don't know their exact location.
Oh,
You
okay.
just know they're there.
Yeah, but I'll just tell you this so we don't waste time.
It's like a general area.
You would sense something of the creatures you have listed. You would 100% sense something. You just wouldn't know exactly where it is. And the captain, you could do it if you want, and you could find out exactly what type of creature it is. That's the information you would get. You just would not get where they are. That's the unfortunate problem. It's up to you if you want to
It's
know.
just a wild Joey.
Don't know what it is, but you heard exactly what the captain told Madeline, and it's up to you if you want to use your resources for that.
I'd rather save my spell slots for when we actually need them.
All right, it's up to you guys. All right, so to wrap everything back up, he looks over you guys, waiting for you guys' answers. Look at Kazin. He looks really deep in each of your faces, seeing that. And Kazin, you're kind of hard to read, but he sees that somebody like you wouldn't ask that type of question unless you were trying to get information, which you clearly are. So
Insight check.
Okay, you can insight that. But I'm going to tell you right now, he's true. Like whatever you get, unless you get like a
18.
18, yeah. He's generally curious who the fuck is your patrons really are. He does not believe it's some hunter's guild. He does not believe it's whoever is backing you as this shadow organization of monks. He doesn't even believe that's powerful enough to have this many supreme potions on this world. So what he does, he takes one of the potions, throws it at you, Kazin. Make his dexterity saving throw. You, for a split second, you thought he was going to throw a dagger or something at you, but he's testing your skills. DC 12.
16.
He looks at you, quick as ever. I'm a man of my word. I was paid handsomely to give these to you. That's why you guys interest me. It wasn't the haversack. It wasn't the other items. It was these. These are something else for this world. Somebody wants you to survive. And that's very, very unusual in this world. You have to be very valuable to somebody to gain a favor like this.
The best guess I have is wooing a king's daughter, I guess. But I doubt that's even the case, too.
They're yours. I'm a man of my word. I got paid to do a job. I deliver these to you. And if you're wondering, which I'm sure this is a lot to take in, I do not know who is your patrons. I take my money anonymously. We do different couriers. Sometimes we usually have little beasts, like the raven there. That's your familiar, if I'm correct, Madeline.
It is my... I'm sorry?
You're familiar. That is a fey creature, is it not?
Yeah,
A familiar.
I mean,
yes.
Yes,
Yes,
but
I know the familiar.
it's still a little stupid. It's playing with my hair since it got rolled so low on it.
Well, I'll give you a little something you might not know. Some familiars are a lot more powerful than what do you know what a dragon is? Make a history check.
Do I know what a dragon is?
What do you know what a dragon? Make a history check. This world is not like others.
Another nat 20.
Okay. You have read
I
books.
love dragons. I researched the hell out of them.
You are a dragon.
You have read of the ancient tales of dragons living in caves, in fortresses, all over the world. But you've never seen one. You have not heard of a dragon in this world in ages. Since these lands have shrunk little by little, it's just all been books left back from ages ago. It's all just fairy tales when it comes to dragons. And the rest of you guys as well.
Tell them what I know about dragons. As a young girl, I used to love fairy tales, and dragons used to blah, 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 blah.
Yep. He's like, impressive. How old I'm sorry, I do not want to presume your age, but elves, how old are you? If you don't mind saying.
I would rather not say, for I always get weird reactions, whether it's you're too old or you're so young. So I will keep that to myself if you don't mind.
It is fine. This world has been like this for a very long time. I doubt you were around when dragons were around. And if you have seen a dragon, even I have never seen a dragon. But
I have not seen a dragon.
I've seen something smaller, and it was a fey creature that looked like a dragon. And well, the person who told me about it told me it wasn't what a dragon was. And he was like you, a bard, and I was looks like you, and a music player. I hope I did not reveal your invitation to the rest of your
Oh no, it's fine. I've made it
companions here,
pretty.
but
I've made
I
it
did-
very obvious. It is.
yes, I've been very easy to read. You all are not too hard to read, unfortunately. I've had some experience in this, and yeah, he was able to draw me a picture of a dragon, and it looked like what he brought it to me.
I know a few tales and songs of them, so.
All right. Well, enough of these. Take your potions. You've all been part of your feat for me to bring you here. You have all been provided a boat. Once we get near to the location of the ravine, I will set you on your way. It's up to you to get to the goal, the door, whatever you want to call it. I never tell anything more. You guys seem special, but I feel part of the adventure is to see if you can make it to the other side on your own. We are getting there now, and soon, hopefully, the creature does not catch up with us, and it should be easy. I had no problem getting there myself. You just have to know where it is. And as he says that, you guys grab all your potions, and you just hear a big, just something slapping across the ship. The ship actually shakes to one side, shakes to the other side. Captain looks up. He writes a little hands up in his writes a little sign, and he says something under his breath in the language that and you guys know primordial.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, Stu.
Okay, great. So you guys here in primordial come to the deck of the ship. Sendin. It's basically the Sendin ship. So he comes. Follow me. Guys all run outside, and you just see tentacles going around the ship, some 10 feet, 20 feet, smacking it side to side. You guys look ahead and think to yourself, this whole entire conversation, the captain of the ship has been in his own quarters while the ship has been clearly sailing ahead. Odd once again. You guys come up, look around the tentacle. Everybody give me a perception check real quick.
This is the best. 22.
Great.
Ditto.
22. Oh, wow. You guys are going good.
It's the best rolls I've had for like weeks.
And
Jaeger?
5.
All right. So,
Alexander.
Madeline and Kazan
better at speaking and wooing people.
look over the front of the ship while the other two look up and stare up these tentacles coming out of the water. As you guys stare ahead, you see far ahead a dark area in the ocean. It goes on for miles, as far as the horizon to see just a straight line. Nothing else. It's coming up, and it looks like as you get closer, the ship is pretty fast. It's wide. In fact, with a natural 20, wow, that shit must be feet, hundreds, thousands of feet wide. And the captain says, the trench, that is your location. We must go quickly. He goes and he says, get to the wheel. And he says, you guys need to hold on. We're going to try to speed up and get you to your boat and to your location and lose these creatures as fast as you can. Everybody give me, once again, strength or acrobatics check. And I'll roll for the rest of everybody else. Good luck to them.
Damn it, you fail me when I need you.
Oh my fucking God, another nat 1. I am not...
Natural
10.
20.
18.
He's at 10, Kazan?
Yes.
All right. So I'll do for the people another nat 1. I'll do it for the rest of the 13 people.
Below
Let's see
deck.
how many,
Let's hopefully
let's
they
see how
don't
many
all
of them...
die.
10 of them fail their
Three.
savings through...
3
And-
people are left.
just fly off the ship as he does his water ability again, and the waves lift up and starts.
And I
was
also
going to
fall
say,
off. I got a 5.
Yeah. As that starts happening, I need the both of you, Kazan and Madeline, to make saving throws.
Okay.
This is going to be a dexterity.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. I can use that. 21.
You start. The
16. I'm sorry, 17.
Were up by the back of the ship where the captain wheel your ropes come loose. You grab onto the center mast, tie yourself around.
This hurts.
You as a monk, what did you get? 16?
17.
17? You see this? She do the same thing. You see a rope. You grab it with your hand, and now you're just like hanging on right now by the rope and just holding on as the ship takes this massive dive, while the other two of them are strapped themselves in and hanging on as best of their abilities. You see the rest of these people just fly off the boat. Alexandra and Jaeger, you guys look up the captain. He has an eye. There's a tear in his eye. You look on over to Patchy, who got up here at some point. Well, you guys didn't even see when he did it, but he was already up here. He's hanging on as well and looking back, and he takes out a weird weapon that none of you guys have ever seen before. A long barrel. Takes it, aims at one of the tentacles, fires. Poof, a big rattling sound. It's like almost like a portable cannon. And Jaeger, you're quite impressive by whatever the fuck that shit was. And he just fires it off, and you see the part of this tentacle just shear off and poof, blows up into sea. As the water goes down, he tells everybody, get to a boat, get to a boat, get to a boat. And he says, I recommend you stick together. And that's where we're going to end our session.
Nice.
At 10:10 exactly.
All
10
right.
wins.
10:10 wins.
Good
So you
news
guys are going to
watch.
have to decide on if you guys are going to be taking individual boats, together boats, and to get to the trench.
I mean, I'm. My vote is together.
That's up for you guys to discuss next time.
I say we take the
Next
big
time.
boat that we're on and drive it into the shore.
Yeah. Because this guy sucks as a captain. Kills everyone on board.
I'm pretty sure we're the only ones alive.
I think so too.
Let me wrap this up for everybody watching so we all can talk. Thank you, everybody who watched this video. This is my first time ever DMing my own campaign. I want to thank everybody because
Yay! Good job, Pinky.
by saying, if
Good
you,
job, babe.
by you guys tell me just to pretend it's a one shot, that really did help. It gave me, it lowered the pressure.
Told you.
Yeah, if I just thought about it, like, because I'm thinking about, wait, what could happen if they do this? But like, hey, you guys
You
didn't
don't
even get
know.
to,
You don't
yeah.
know. Wait till the end. That's all you got to do.
Yeah,
The
Look,
best
man, I was
thing
this tempted to
is
just jump up on the table and start seeing land down under.
you just section it into pieces. It's just like you just prepare a little bit for what
Mhm.
possibilities could happen.
Mhm.
and we kept it concise. We didn't get to the big the
Reveal.
no, he already said it's Kraken. Come on, it's a Kraken.
Oh yeah, dear
Aw,
God.
man.
Kraken.
Posted the Kraken up in
It's kinda
Discord. Come on.
obvious. It's kind of obvious at this point, but that's not a problem because
What do you mean? It's just a giant
What do you
Japanese
mean
tentacle
it's a
monster.
problem?
It's a
Like,
big
take
fucking
thought,
problem.
it's
I
like,
don't know what you're
still.
talking about.
no, it's not a problem that you know
The Kraken wants
because
to eat me. I learned what it's thinking.
remember he saw this tentacle from hundreds of miles away. That's your problem. This is a big boy. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Later, people.